Hey, what's up, everybody? Good evening. Good evening. Welcome in. Welcome in. Let's get this popping. All right, the intro. Hey, good evening. What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing? Listen. It is Thursday. It is Thursday. Um, I've gotten real comfortable with this thing, so I'm happy about that. It's Thursday. It's 8 o'clock. It is actually 8:04. Forgive me for my tardiness, my 4 minutes of tardiness. I appreciate you guys being here tonight. I am Donna. Welcome to the Real Life Relationship Growth Get Together. Chat 'em up. Welcome on the couch. We used to be Camper Conversations. For those of y'all that have been rocking with me since the beginning, y'all know what that was. But we did the same thing. But we're here now. We're here now in the studio. It is Thursday. We meet. We meet here every Thursday, guys. Unless something comes up and have something going on, and I'll always let you all know. But we're here every Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I want to push this. I want to push this. We've been pushing YouTube because sometimes Facebook gets a little choppy for me. So go over to YouTube, y'all. Go over to YouTube for me. Join us on YouTube. Either way, all the chats will be coming together right here, right here. So let me start out by saying this. This is my thing. I always say, I always let y'all know. Listen, I am not a relationship expert. I am not a relationship expert. I'm a black woman in this life doing the damn thing, just living it, enjoying myself in the process. I have had some ups, I have had some downs, I have had some experiences that have shaped me. I have had some experiences that I have learned from. I always say, take what you can out of life, use what you can, and the rest, if it doesn't apply, if it doesn't work, throw it away. Throw it away. That's what I do, and that's how I live. That's how I live. So listen, you've experienced some things in life that can be helpful to me, just like I have to you, or any related to this page, related to this family, right? So we are not here. I am not here to try to tell you what to do with your life. I'm here to say, hey, you know what? Have you thought about this? Have you tried that? Because, woo, I have been through this. I know we have different experiences. We're all raised in different ways and we come from different backgrounds. But one thing about us all, we all have a heart, it beats, we breathe, and we desire the same thing. Because we live together in this world, that means we desire each other in some form or some fashion. So, listen, this is the criteria for you to be a part of this family. This is the criteria. Simple. This is for adults. This is for adults 21 and up. 21 and up. If you're 18, you just popped out of high school, you're just going to college, slow down. Slow down. This is for adults age 21 to 100. All right. This is the criteria. You have to be single, dating, courting, married, divorced, or widower. That is the criteria for you to be here. If you fall into any of those categories, you in the right place. Welcome home. Welcome to the family. We are here to help one another, to discuss things. We deal with that umbrella of family, that husband, that wife, that male, that female, because everything else falls under that. So we don't just talk about relationship building for husband and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends, and people that are trying to decide who they want to be with. We don't just talk about that. We talk about the residuals. The residuals are those children, those aunts, those uncles, those cousins, the family network. That's what we are here for. And while I'm saying that, let me put this plug in and let you guys know and remind you all. We are doing a series. I want to do 6 weeks, 6 week series. It is called Generational Curses. Breaking, I'm sorry. I'm going to get the title right. I have it down, y'all, but it's Generational Curses, Closing the Gap. Closing the gap. That's what it is. If you are an adult and you are estranged from your parents, from your family, I need you. I need you. And you know why I need you? Because again, we're going to bridge that gap. For those who are wanting to do that, for those who have been trying to do that and you don't really know how, guess what though? Again, I said it, I'm not a professional. I have some professionals who have come on board with me. One is Dr. Loretta Dalton. I'm going to be introducing her very, very soon. I have two other. Loretta Dalton is a family therapist. She's a beautiful, beautiful soul. I love her, love her. And she heard about the project I wanted to do, and she was like, yo, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that. And I have two other, and I'm not going to name them just yet because we haven't totally solidified that, but they said they want to be a part of it too. Because as adults, we go through things, and sometimes we don't understand why we are the way we are. We got to back, y'all. We got to look back. We got to look back to what mama and them were doing, what daddy and them were doing, what our grandparents were doing, how we were raised, and some things that have formed us that we do not like, and some relationships that are broken because mama did it how grandmama did it. Grandmama did it how great grandmama did it. Y'all get what I'm saying? Everything we learned and lived is not conducive and productive for our growth. So we got to figure out how to mend those gaps and break those generational curses and stop doing the same thing generation after generation after generation that's keeping our families apart. So that's what that is. So y'all stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. All right. I'm going too long, y'all. Let me get my peoples on because you know I love my peoples, right? Y'all know I love family and gathering and togetherness. And as always, I'm going to bring the ladies on first because my girl Corey B, what's up, Megan? Why am I not getting Corey on? Uh-oh, what's happening here? Y'all give me a second. Some technicals.
Hey.
Let me see.
Yeah,
Let me try to come from
glitching.
this direction. Mm, let y'all on, y'all. What is happening? Figure out what's going on. Y'all in the back. Corey.
Yes.
Miss Corey, can you hear
Hey,
me? All right.
I
Hey
can hear
girl.
you. Hey.
I was having some I'm hitting buttons and it's looking at me like what?
Yeah, it's glitching a little bit. It's glitching a little
It
bit.
was not starting. Yeah, it is glitching a little bit. It's telling me that it's restarting the communication. All right. Sound like we good though. It looks like
Okay.
everybody's still in the back. Let me bring my girl on, Sean. Mm. What's happening? What's happening tonight?
Oh, this is different.
All right.
There I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you
All
hear me?
right. We still got some glitch going. Can you look at YouTube for me, please? There it is. I don't know why it's moving slow. She
Yeah,
should be popping in.
Can y'all hear me?
we can hear. I can hear you, but I'm looking to
There it
see if the
is.
glitch is also showing up on YouTube because
Yeah.
it showed up earlier, but it didn't show up on Facebook. Facebook was just
Okay.
playing. I'm seeing
Okay.
it also on YouTube,
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay.
but it seems like every time you try to bring somebody in, it starts a little something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. We hear that YouTube is lagging, but all right. It's gonna catch up, y'all. It's gonna catch up. We're gonna do what we do. We're gonna do what we do. So you know what? Let me go ahead and bring the brothers on. Because we want to get started with this thing. The intro went a little bit long, and now we're having some difficulties. But I'm going to go ahead and bring the brothers on to join us tonight. Um, let's see, y'all. This brother right here, I have been rocking with him. We have been rocking with each other. Woo woo, woo, woo woo. Mr.
Yeah.
Soul Toucher.
What's going on?
This is my brother King, y'all. So Touching is his poetic name. He is a
Nice.
poet. He is a poet. Yeah, we lagging. That's all right. Prayerfully, we gonna catch up. King, y'all. So King is my brat's brother. If y'all know anything, y'all know I'm a military brat. This brother right here, we've been through the thick and the thin of it. We graduated high school together. Y'all have heard me say Lisa and Teresa has been here, and even Rose. Rose is a part of the crew on here, King. Rose
Oh,
has been a
wow.
part. This brother I knew before I met all of those ladies. So that tell y'all something right there.
Oh my goodness, we've known each other more than almost more than we've been alive.
Right. What's up, baby? I'm so glad you joined me tonight. I appreciate it.
Yes, indeed.
I hit him up this morning, last minute. And when I say true to form, King, y'all, has always been there for me, and tonight is no different. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing lovely. Just doing lovely. Just living life and navigating these 50s.
Yeah. Stick with that number. Stay that number. Stick with that number.
I'm gonna try.
All right, y'all. Let me bring the other two brothers on. Mr. Joshua Presley. Hey, Josh.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, Josh and I go back as well. Josh,
You do.
Sean, and I, we met at church
Yes.
years ago. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Years and years when your kids were little.
Yeah. Charisma was like 4.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Little thing.
Yeah. Charisma was like 4 years old. So we used to all attend the same church together. And of course, when you know good people, you stay connected and you hold on to good people. So
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
yeah. Sean and I used to play ball together. We played on the church basketball
Yes, the
team. We was
basketball
doing it,
team.
girl. We was doing it. And her sister, yeah. And her sister.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
When I was out there balling.
they couldn't take us because we used to come to church just so girly and cute and
Yeah.
dressed to the T and hair laid, fried down,
Yep.
laid to the side. But baby, when we got on that court, they were like,
Man.
"What?" We was like,
What?
It was about that life.
"We about
Yeah.
to life."
All is life.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. All right. And we had one more joining us. Y'all know Mr. Mark from Date Night Live. I don't know what happened to Mark. I saw him in the backdrop. I'm sure he'll come back and join us. And when he pops up, then we'll bring him on when he comes back in. And then of course my resident couples therapist, Mr. Jimmy.
He's bowling right now.
Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy will be on. Jimmy should be on. You know, Thursday is Jimmy's bowling night, but he was like, sis, you know I'm coming. You know I'll be there as soon as I bowl these strikes. As soon as I finish these strikes, I'm gonna be in there. All right, y'all. All right. So thank you for joining us tonight. Hey, Kev. I always have to shout out Kevin, y'all. Kevin is in the chat. Kevin has been rocking with me since real life relationship growth was invented. Since it started. Kevin has been following the page. He has been on with us, having discussions. So I always like to shout out Kevin. Let me bring Mr. Date Night on. Mr. Mark, how are you, sir?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I know y'all can't. I don't want you to see me right now. I'm doing my Kanye shit.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm doing my Kanye shit. Actually, I'm trying to,
Oh my
Not
goodness.
with
That's
Mark.
hilarious.
we're gonna talk like this. What's happening?
How are you? How was your day?
It was cool.
Good. All right. Sean, let me to ask you to do something real quick. Turn your phone. Turn your camera.
To the left, to the right, to the what?
Just
Horizontal
turn
like
it.
this.
Yeah.
There
You
you go.
go.
Oh, okay. Let me raise it up.
Yeah. Let you get situated. But yeah, that way we see everybody.
I'm really trying to adjust my headphones and everything. But y'all go ahead. I can hear you a little bit.
Okay. All right, y'all. So we're gonna get started. We're gonna get started with this topic tonight. We gonna get started. The topic is who, what, huh?
Oh my
What?
God, I don't think I'm ready.
Yo,
What?
listen. Let me play this video because the video is going to set the tone and lay out the backdrop of what we're gonna talk about tonight. What we
Help
gonna
us,
talk
Holy
about
Ghost.
tonight.
I said, help us, Lord. Help us, Lord.
So actually there are two videos that I need to play. So let me start this one. I may not play mine. Mine is first. It's a video that I made. But let me play mine first. We may not play it fully, but I want us to hear the second video as well. So here we go. So I need y'all assistance. Y'all help me out a little bit. If one more teeny bopper sugar daddy sends me a request, tries to get my number, listen, either they are in their 30s, my son is 32, either they're in their 30s and they're trying to talk, or especially when I go to the VA, they sugar daddies and they try to talk. So this is my dilemma. I have a question. So what the brothers who are in my age group, I'm 53, right? So the brothers in my age group, I get hit on more by younger guys and guys older than me than I do men my age range, in my age range. In my age range, I say between 43 and 55. So I'm trying to figure this thing out. Y'all help me out. What do y'all think? What is the problem? Either they're in their 30s, they're too young, or they're in their 60s and maybe up, they're too old, and they're not in my age range, in my age category. So is there some confusion? Is there some confusion? Like, y'all help me out. What y'all think? Y'all excuse the orientation of the video. I was supposed to switch it before I started, but too late.
It is what it
It
is.
is what it is. It is what it is. Stevie Wonder heard the message. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what it looks like.
Mhm.
We have to worry about what it looks like. All right. I need y'all to let that one process and kind of marinate on that one. You know what?
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna do this. Before I play the other video, I need to get some thoughts. Before I play the other video, I'm gonna start with the sisters on this one. Sean,
Yes, ma'am.com.
is this your experience, ma'am? Have you
Yes.
experienced?
Yes. I had a friend was in town and we were meeting at we were going to the movies. And so I arrived first, so I ended up sitting down and just, like getting something to eat before, because it was at main event. We were going to main event. And got there and this little boy came up to me talking about, you are so pretty, and just trying to converse with me. And I'm like, thank you. I'm polite. Baby, this baby had to have been every bit of like 15, 16. Baby, if you don't go somewhere. And he was with another group of guys. And I asked him, honey, where are your parents? And
Oh my goodness.
he was like, they were there in the place, but he was just so he found me attractive and he was gonna shoot his shot. Wow. Then I had another young man. I had gone to, I think it was Office Depot or one of them, and I had just come from working out. I had my little workout thing. He tried to holler in there. I left out. Do you know he followed me under the parking lot? And I was like, sweetheart, you are way too young for me. He was like, I don't give a damn about your age. I said, I was like, the brazenness. And he was dead serious. He was dead serious. I think he might have been like 20 something. I was like, no,
Okay.
y'all may find out from somebody else, but you ain't gonna find out from me. You gonna mess around and find out. Not with me though. Not with me.
So sis, I hope you don't mind because you know they say you don't ask a woman her age, but because
Uh-uh.
black don't crack. Do you have a problem telling us your age?
Yeah, I don't want to record it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Can we say whether you in your 30s, your 40s?
No, you can't even do that because I don't want, I don't, mm.
Okay.
Goodness.
Okay. We ain't gonna push we not gonna push the issue. We not gonna push the issue. Miss Corey.
Y'all hear me? Y'all hear me?
I don't.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. What you got, Miss Corey? What you think?
It happens often.
Mhm.
Young guys would they'll talk about, and they probably talked about it when we were all younger, when y'all were younger,
Mhm.
about how they dated an older woman. And it was almost a thing then. And I think it's still a thing now. You know what I mean? She doesn't need anything from you or whatever. But I don't really get young guys. I get older guys, like significantly older guys. So
Okay.
Get them too.
I don't.
Right.
I'm not.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not interested. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. So, Miss Crystal here, Miss Christine, she is one of our in-house girls as well, as far as being a part of the crew. She said, I too have always attracted younger versus older, but only by about 5 years younger than me. I attribute it to having a youthful attitude, personality, and some say I look younger than I am. Black don't crack.
Unless you're smoking it. That's absolutely correct.
Oh
That's
my
how I
Yes,
like.
yes, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So we got the ladies take on our experience and any of y'all brothers want to just comment on that before we move along.
Comment on what part?
Yeah, which
It-
part?
That's broad. What do you mean?
It's too much to unpack right there.
too much to unpack it. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Do you
I
want us to
get it.
talk about the younger part or the older part? Which one?
Well, no, just y'all thoughts. Just y'all just y'all thoughts on why, maybe the why or
I
any thought
I
you have.
personally think that men like beautiful women. Okay. And they don't care about the age of the woman. They just like beautiful women. If she fine, she fine, right? Like I think that most of us can say that if she fine, she fine. And that's all we see for the most part. We don't generally focus on the age part of the situation, which has gotten a lot of dudes in trouble. That's the reason why you have R. Kelly situations, because we don't focus on the actual age of the woman. We're focused on the features of the woman as opposed to the age. And I
Okay.
think that for a 21-year-old man that's looking at an adult woman, or an 18-year-old man that's looking at an adult woman, I'm about to segue into something. We
Mhm.
don't care about whether she's 38 years old, like in Anthony Edwards' case, or whether she's 20 years old. We just don't care because we see a fine woman that we are interested in having a conversation with that can lead to other things.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut the shit. Right. I'm gonna
Okay. All right. All right.
I'm gonna tell
Okay,
y'all
good.
something. Let me explain something to you. You just hang around. As young men, we typically live a promiscuous life. A lot of us, right?
Mhm.
And so, not all, but I will say this: older women, especially being that young, are like trophies for us.
Mhm.
It's like a trophy. You know what I mean? I got an old head. That's the first thing we used to say when we was young. I got an old head, and the old head is gonna take care of me better than the one I got at my age. Typically, that's what happens, right?
Mm.
And as we start to move forward in life, as we get older, as men, most, if single, if not, I can't say all, but a lot go younger. We can agree, right? Especially after divorces and all that thing. So it's like a polar opposite as we get older. Age matters in the fact that I'll say age matter in the sense of like meeting a younger girl as an older man. It matters because you don't want to deal with the drama of having someone to go out. That's the first thing that we think. Young woman out in the club, right? This is what we think. And that's not always the case.
Mm.
But typically, that's what we think. You know, that due to the age, and also due to the age as a man, we also say what older women. I'm not saying it's true or not. This listen to the vibe.
All right, come on.
On. That
Okay.
typically older women bring more stuff to the table than younger women, right?
Okay.
Because you guys experience it, right? You've been through relationships several times, right? They fail. There is carryover. I don't care how much people say they heal. Your experience is going to shape on how you treat that person moving forward. Now, you may not treat them bad, you may not, but it plays a part because you're going to remember the games before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to remember those times when so and so did so and so. And as you get older, sometimes a lot of men say that they got to deal with that.
Okay.
When they were younger.
That's an interesting take. I've never quite heard that part, but I have heard that younger men are seeking, older men are seeking younger women because younger women are not more naive than older women. And that's what has been said.
Okay.
Man, that's kind of hard.
Okay. All right, King, you got something?
I mean, I can piggyback off both of the brothers. You can look at it from a young man's perspective. Looking at older women, it's like a trophy. It's like a goal. It's like I'm 18 and I got a 34-year-old woman. That's bragging rights to the homies.
That's very right.
Now, there are rare cases where, some young men have displaced mommy issues and they're looking for a mommy figure. They want to be quote unquote breastfed, so to speak. Now, when it comes to the older men and the younger women, because I know a lot of old roosters, shakes, and young hens, it's a vitality thing. It's like women in their age group, at some point in women's lives, there are some things that are not important to them physically. And sometimes men are still at it in they, 50s, 60s, and maybe in their 70s. And, some women, they get to the point where that is just not important to them anymore. And those men still need that. So it's like, if a woman is in my age group at 60 something years old, and she'd rather put puzzles together and knit sweaters, and I want to go roll around in the hay, I'm going to go get this 30-year-old woman, and I can impress her with a few dollars, my car, and whatever the case may be, and I'm gonna get what I need from it, and that's what it is.
Okay.
And you know what? Age does play a factor in all cases, right? We just had someone. I'm sure some of us right now on this panel, every one of us is probably over the age of 40. Let's just say that, right? I just basically heard someone say 60 is too old, right? I just heard somebody. So age plays a factor, right? Because I'm gonna be honest, I can tell my age. I'm 51. I wouldn't date no woman. I'm sorry. My mom is 60, 68. My mom had me young. I don't see myself marrying or dating no one around my mother's age. So it does matter, and it plays a factor on how you treat the situation. Yes, with younger women, you gotta kind of keep it. If you're gonna dabble in that, you gotta kind of keep your eye on a few things and make sure that she ain't throwing it up in the club every Monday through Monday. You know what I mean? So age plays a major factor on how you definitely adjust to the situation, I would say.
Okay. There are a lot of men that are attracted to older women, though. Like I have a homie.
So I'm sorry.
Super attracted to older women.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I was saying there are a lot of men that are attracted to older women. I have a homie that's super attracted to older women, has always been attracted to older women. That's his thing.
So we all say some, but not all, right?
Some, but not all.
Right. Some, but not all. We never say all, but we can definitely
never say all.
Typically, when a man marries and he goes into a relationship, the woman is typically more younger than older.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we kind of swiveled around to what the brothers need, what the brothers are looking for, what the brothers. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna swivel back around.
You know, they got them swimming.
And I appreciate it. I appreciate every gentleman's thought process, comment, and information.
Mhm.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We appreciate that. But
Wait, Don,
let's
can I ask this?
hmm,
So, and this is just everybody's, of course, personal preference, but what, based on what your age is, how low would you go age wise, and how much higher would you go age wise?
I knew that was coming.
yeah. All right. So I said it in
10
my
years
video.
either way.
I'm
10
I'm
years either way.
53. What'd you say, King?
I'm 52. It's 10 years either way.
42.
10 years either way?
42
Okay.
and
Okay.
42 and 52.
Yeah, that used to be mine. 10 years
Yeah.
either way.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Mark, what do you say? How many years did you say?
I mean, typically 10 to 12. Have there been exceptions to the rules before? Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It's based
But
on
now I'm old, so I wouldn't do it 10 years older now.
I've dated. I've dated. Right, exactly. I'm not going that. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah. Because I
I'm
was
turning
gonna
50
say
this year. I'm not trying to do 60. I'm sorry. If I
Yeah.
was still
I
single,
was
of course I'm
gonna
not single, I'm
say
married. But
Right, right. We're not.
right. I was gonna say look, and I don't know if male female thought process. I don't know. I don't think so. But I would say I'm 53. I would go 10 younger, but I damn sure ain't going 10 older.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Hold on. I am not.
Wait.
Yeah.
I am not dating.
I've done 20. I've done 20 before.
You've done 20 before?
20 older?
Oh, you are the
Okay.
champ.
So listen, anybody
20 back.
that knows my sister, she did 20, and they're married. They've been
20.
married.
20 what?
She did 20 older.
She sure did. She sure did.
Yep. My
Right.
brother-in-law is 20 years older
Right.
than
So
my
he got him
sister.
120 back. He got him 120 back.
Yeah, he
Right.
went 20
he
back.
He went 20 back.
He went 20 back.
I have a friend, she's 20 years younger than her husband. So that he was in his 60s and she was in her 40s, and they got married. And they've been married like 13 years. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Corey, what's your range?
I'm not quite 10 years down because guys are different. Y'all a bit more mature. You really got to have it together for me to even go that way. So the youngest I'll go is roughly like 37.
What did it say? Some banal?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lowest is like 37. The oldest I could say like 52.
How old are you, Corey?
44, March 19th.
Oh, okay.
It's good to see you, by the way, Mark.
All right,
It's good to see you, by the way, Mark. I'm glad you showed up.
Sean, what's your range?
Happy belated birthday too, Corey.
Thank you.
So I'll say, and that's why I asked, because that's been a conversation. For me, it's always been like 5 below, like maybe 5 years younger, but 10 I can't even see, because I just guess I just feel like, and I also let me say this disclaimer. It also depends on the character of the person, because I'm like you, Donna. I might go lower, but I can't see marrying or being with somebody that's like 10, 15 years older than me. Because I just think our interests are different. I feel like our genres of things would be different because of the discrepancy in the age. Like, yeah, that's just difficult for me. I think the youngest has been 5 years, maybe 5 years younger.
Hey, Chad, here's the thing. You said y'all in the same. If it's 10, y'all in the same generation now. Both y'all listen to Thriller album now. Both y'all.
So look, I'm gonna kind of go a part of that. To be honest, I'm gonna go kind of where King went, because he said, older women, sexually may lose interest, and that's not what they
That
want or
ain't
whatever,
true.
whatever.
That ain't true, honey. That is
It is
not true.
not true.
The
It is
drive
not
is
true.
higher the
But
older you get.
That's
it
not
is
true.
definitely not true. But that's another topic. That's another
That's
conversation. But we
for
can tip
another
on
day.
why that's not true. But that's a part of my thought process as well. Like,
Mhm.
and I know for a fact that men between the ages of, and I may be, and this not scientifically, statistically right, this is just possibly experience. Men between the age of 45 dealing with ED, dealing with those type things. I'm kind of on this plane of, if he's 10 years older than me, for me, I'm thinking that's kind of guaranteed. That could be a guaranteed factor.
ED is guaranteed.
Possibly. I'm
Oh,
saying
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
for a man 10 years older than me.
Only ED I know is Eric Dickinson, so I don't know what you're talking about.
but let me throw a caveat onto what you're saying, Donna.
Okay.
You have to take into consideration men and women as they get older. Men
Right.
potentially have ED, women have dryness. So
Menopause,
I'm not saying that it's every woman at that age, and it's not every man at that age. There are
Right.
some women and some men that just don't have that drive. They prefer more of companionship than sex
Yeah,
in
I
those
can see that.
situations.
Yeah,
And
I totally
when you're
understand
talking
that.
about ED and stuff like that, you also have to take into consideration that person's lifestyle. When you are vetting that person, whether they're older or younger, you're vetting that total person. You're not just saying, "Oh, well, that person is 10 years older than me. They off the books." You might have
Right.
a man or a woman that's 10 years older than you, and they have an active lifestyle. So that sexual dysfunction may not be a problem.
It
You
may
may meet
not.
you may
Right. It
meet
may
a
not.
woman
But
or a
that's
man that's younger than you, and they may not be, in the club throwing it up, throwing it back, and this, that, and other.
Right.
So it's situational. So that's why for me it has been 10 years older or younger. Now, I have always said I would never ever date anyone young as in the same age group as my youngest child.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's just out of it for me. So it's like a woman in her 30s, 20s. No, no way.
Yeah. So let me
So Donna, I
yeah,
did
hold
want
on
to
one second.
piggyback
Let
on
me
that.
hold on a
I
second, Josh. I'm sorry.
okay. I'm
Let
sorry.
me just be kind of clear on that. So in comparison of what you were saying, King, what you were saying as far as the age of a woman that you would date, and
Mhm.
some of the factors can
Mhm.
be based on the lack of sexual interest.
Right.
And that's what I was saying in the same point.
Mhm.
A man 10 years older than me, in
Mhm.
my mind, and like you
Mhm.
said, you're right. The vetting is necessary. Those things are important. Lifestyle is important. All of those things play a part because
Mhm.
younger brothers that don't take care of themselves, just overweight or whatever, or not exercising or not eating right, that attributes to ED. We know
Mhm.
that. We
Right.
know that. And an older gentleman that works out, eats well, does all those things could possibly not have that problem at all.
Right.
I'm just saying that's one of the factors that I would
Mhm.
think about.
Right.
So
I'm being
what I
real
was
because
gonna say.
yeah, real life. This is real. That's one of the factors. The first thing I'm thinking about is 60, sir,
That's
sir.
usually the first. That's usually the first thing we do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
But
like you
Donna, you
said, the
wouldn't
vetting
even
process. Go
consider
ahead,
somebody
Josh.
that was 60 though. See,
Go ahead.
that's what I'm saying. If that person wasn't in good physical condition, that's what I was trying to get to, which is what he was saying. Like the people that you're going to be attracted to are going to fit a specific lifestyle. So even if that person was 60, if that person is 60 out of shape and flabby looking, you're not going to consider that person. You're not going to be
Right.
attracted to that person. So the person that you would be attracted to, you wouldn't even know that they're 60 years old because they're going to be in shape. They're going
I
to
can
look
see
the
that.
part, and you're going to look at them and then find out after the fact,
Right.
oh dang, you 60?
That's
Right.
60
that's the
could look
exception
like
to the
that.
rule. That's the
Because
exception
your
to the rule.
mind will, if you're attracted to that person, it won't matter their age. Going back to the whole age is number the number.
Mhm.
You'll be like, this is the person. If he was 40, I would be trying to holler at him. You see what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Mhm. 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 Yeah. Totally agree. Totally agree. All right, y'all. I'm gonna pull this back a little bit because
What we putting?
um I the introduction video, the video that I created that had 2 clips. It had 2 clips to it. And I wanted to get y'all's thoughts and y'all perspectives on just the topic itself. Just the topic itself on what I said, what my issue is, and what it seems like a lot of other ladies' issues are. And y'all kind of laid out to us from male perspectives, excuse me, of why men of different ages tend to move like they do. Right? Right? So I want to play the video, and one of my homeboys sent this to me. It's not something I found. He watched my video, he saw it, and I get a lot. And again, I have to say this, y'all. Big up to the brothers. I appreciate y'all supporting this page. Ladies, I'm telling y'all, if y'all are looking for a man, y'all better call me. Real life relationship growth. Y'all will not believe my inbox. I'm telling y'all, when women say that men don't talk, they don't communicate, the brothers are, and I looked at the analytics of my page this morning. And when I say the brothers, that's not something I just say. I'm going to post the analytics during the week and show y'all in comparison how many men are engaging in real life relationship growth than women. All right. So, but my homeboy sent this video. I'm sorry. Let's not pass this up real quick because I mentioned my sister. Her husband is actually 23 years older than her.
Wow.
Um, and she had a few comments that I want to, before we move on. Let's see, where did she start at? Corey, help me out. We see
It's
what
Paul Rogers,
um
right?
it says, yeah, Paul Rogers.
Okay.
Paul Rogers. She said they've been married for 23
23
years, so it's not
years.
20, it's
hmm
23. Um,
She said, I wish I could tell a thing or two about sex drive at an older age. It's not what you think. The party goes on.
okay, okay.
Oh, and then she posed a question. What happens when you are 60? Do you want to be looked over because of people and their misconceptions
Mm.
about age?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Good one, sis. Yeah, that's a good thought. I'm gonna let that
And
stand there
because
for a second.
I've seen videos where a lot of like younger women, like, and when I say younger, I'm talking about like mid-20s, they are crystal clear. Like they want them to go get with an old chick or they want them to go have a side chick because that means that they don't have to lay up with them and they're not really interested, but they still might have kids by them or something. Like I have seen videos and I'll be like, interesting. So you thinking because this individual is younger, they really have a higher sex drive and they don't.
Hmm. Hmm. But I
But
like what
some
she
of them
said
don't want to
about,
be bothered.
yeah.
Mhm.
I like what she said about passing them by because of the misconception.
Hmm.
Because like we said, the first thing we think when we hear 10 years older than us, and y'all see our reactions, what our reactions were.
Mhm.
10 years older than us. And like Josh was saying, they may be really active and like to still, excuse me, go out and do things. And
Hmm.
which is possibly why they're hitting on younger women because they want somebody that's still,
Doing the
and
things
like
they're
King
doing.
said,
Yeah.
the women their age could be knitting blankets. And they it's not what they're looking for. So I get
Not
it.
just
I
blankets.
get it. I love that. I love that. So one of my girlfriends that listened to the video, the original one that I sent out, she said, "Girl, date them all. Date them
Huh.
all."
Heard
She was
that
like,
too.
"Date them all and find out. Date them all and find out." And I'm not opposed to that as long as they ain't 10 years older than me.
You're so
Oh my
judgmental.
God. No, she
Yeah.
All right,
Huh.
y'all. So, um, this is going this video is going to shift us a little bit because
Okay.
I love what we're talking about. I love the reasoning behind everybody's thought process. But this video right here, when I play the brothers video, this is going to shift us a little bit. So let's do this. I don't think I have to switch the orientation. All right, here we go.
Want to know why men over 40 are staying single? I'll tell you why. Because society raised women to be wives to careers, not husbands. And now the men who were once overlooked are watching rebellion unfold and choosing peace over chaos. These ain't excuses. These are the raw, unfiltered reasons men are walking away from modern women, and many of them don't plan on looking back. You better watch this all the way through or keep wondering why that good man ain't calling you back. Let's set the record straight. This ain't about men being bitter. This ain't about men being weak. This is about men getting wise, men getting structure, and men finally realizing what marriage has turned into and what it costs when you choose a woman who ain't built for submission, peace, or purpose. And if you're one of those women thinking, well, maybe he just can't handle a strong woman, sit tight. You're about to find out he didn't lose interest. He gained clarity. First reason, divorce destroys a man's life. Older men have seen it too many times. Good men getting gutted in court. He loses his house, he loses his pension, his legacy, and she walks away with half his world for bringing nothing but attitude to the table. Why would any man jump into a legal system designed to reward rebellion and punish masculinity?
Interesting.
Ah.
Child.
Ah.
Ooh, child.
Another side, another perspective. I told y'all this gonna take us over a little bit. It's gonna take us over a little bit. So we set the foundation. We set the foundation. Gentlemen of a variety of ages hit on women, regardless of what their age, what their ages are. This give me y'all thoughts. Do I need to play that again, or everybody kind of crystal clear on what he was saying?
Girl,
good.
don't need to. Oh, yeah, we good, honey. We definitely don't need to hear that again.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anybody want to hit that one? Oh, Corey, dang. Corey,
I'm still writing.
you still writing? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me tell y'all my thought process. When I watched the video, he didn't even have to get halfway through it before I had my thoughts. Now, the brother said, it does not mean that we're bitter or we're weak. We just pretty much tired. We tired because when the divorce happens, he said, oh, this one magnified to me. When the woman we choose, the woman you choose, wants to be this and not that. Kind of paraphrasing. That stood out to me. The woman you choose. The woman you choose. He said not bitter and not weak. I beg to differ. That to me is oozing bitterness. It's what he said is oozing bitterness. You made a choice, sir. The choice didn't work out. And your go-to is when you get divorced, because the one I chose, then when you get divorced, women aren't looking to be wives. They're focused more or trained more or taught more on to be career driven or whatever. The woman you chose, sir.
Mm-hmm.
What y'all think?
Okay.
So, do you want me to go?
Sure.
You can. Mm-hmm.
Well, here are my thoughts, and I've said this to my wife, that no black man has dated all black women.
Preach.
So there's about 41 million black people in the country. About 60% of them are black women. Let's say 55%. So we're talking about 21 million black women. Let's say of that 21 million, half of them are over the age of 18, right? Let's just say that. So you're talking about 10 million people. How many men have dated 10,000 people? How many men have dated 1,500 people?
Hello.
So when we start having conversations about, the modern woman or black women or any of those conversations. We're making generalizations and we're basing it on anecdotal evidence. Our anecdotal evidence are the number of people that you've dated, whether it be 10 or 42 or 500. So your experience is not every woman. And based on that experience, you're making this determination that all women are like the women that you dated. First of all, your picker's probably wrong. The people that you are picking for yourself are probably bad people, and they're based on your perception of what you need, which may not be truly what you need. It's really, you need to figure out what it is that you truly need or are desiring in a relationship. So a lot of times that is where our failings are. We focus, for men, especially as younger age, we focus on the physical a lot. We're trying to hit it anyway. That's just the goal for most of us brothers, without examining truly who the woman is and what it is that we are seeking to build with that individual. And you can weed through the masses if you have an understanding of what it is that you truly want and are desiring. If you're dating with a purpose, you can weed through the masses and get to the point, get to the root of the matter when it comes to relationships, right? And a lot of that requires investment. It requires time. A lot of us are not putting in the time in order to determine that. Again, first of all, you need to understand yourself first. You need to understand what it is that you seek in marriage, seek in a relationship. And when you do that, there are women, there are plenty of women that will most likely fit that mold, but you got to ignore the ones that fit the aesthetic. And a lot of we go for the aesthetic. You want the light skinned chick that's thicker than a Snicker and got the long flowing hair, and that's who you dated. You dated 15 of those, and every last one of them have caused you heartache. So now all women suck, right? But you only dated that one specific type of woman. So what about the other sisters out there or other women out there? That is where a lot of this comes from. There are a lot of men, especially I have high school friends that are upset because the girls that they wanted in high school were not interested in them at that time, and now they're older and they're like showing interest. They're like, well, she didn't want me back then, and I'm like, look, dude, we were dumb in high school. Like, what's the problem? Like, reconsider where you are. Like, we were all stupid. They wanted a bad boy. You were not a bad boy in high school, and now they've gotten older and they have more sense and have a clear understanding of who they are. And you hopefully have a clear understanding of who you are, so you can vet her and see where she is now and see where you are now, and see if you guys can actually mesh together and make for a good relationship. That's my thought on it. It really, his examination of the process is not a true examination. It does sound bitter. It doesn't sound like somebody that's actually done enough of a self-examination and kind of come to a conclusion about, well, this is what I want. Let me see if I can find that out here. And then hopefully what you want wants you, and you can, build a relationship from there. And that's all. I'm gonna stop because I could go an hour on this discussion, because I look back on my own personal relationships and I'm like, I had to figure out what I wanted. And I don't think a lot of men are really sitting down and figuring out what do you want?
Okay. All right, Miss Corey.
Y'all said what I said. First of all, when the first 4 words after the 2, he said something about modern women. I said, "Oh Lord, I know what this is going to be." Then it went exactly where I thought it was going to go. Modern women. Well,
oh my God!
Women of the past, we are not there. But today is what it is. He talked about they don't want submission, peace, or purpose, and then he equated the 2 as submission equals peace.
Right.
Pin drop.
I'm just like, come on. First of all, I'm not bitter. You absolutely are. You're letting me know up front that's what you are. It's too late. I'm judging Christine Harding. I'm judging. It's way too late. But I think he's just in an echo chamber. as far as I'm concerned. He is saying things that have been repeated and repeated and repeated over and over. And there's no originality of thought
Yeah.
at all. So the way I see it, he didn't give an answer as to why
Mhm.
men are not getting married.
Mhm. Mhm.
Some people might be taking time. They may have had a relationship that didn't go well. And some of us like to get ourselves together before we jump into something else to save ourselves and that person from adding trash to their life.
Mhm.
You need to take time.
Mhm.
To me, you should take time between relationships to make sure you're good and not causing any heartache on that person. It's not fair to take somebody fresh and make them your rebound. That's not
Yeah.
fair. And it's not fair
Right.
to you because of the
Ooh.
reputation you're going to get from the way you're behaving while you're with them.
Mm.
Be fair
Mm.
to them, be fair to yourself. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So people can be taking their time for several reasons. So I'm gonna just leave it there because
Yeah.
he annoyed me.
Yeah. He did. He did. He did. King, what's
Mark,
your
you're
thoughts?
back. Good to see you. I'm glad you showed
Man,
up.
I had to shut Date Night Studios down.
My
Yeah,
my
okay.
my first thought would be my first sarcastic thought would be he needs to stop the clickbait first of all,
Mm.
because like Corey and Joshua mentioned, he's pretty much saying what's been regurgitated a million times. He hasn't dated enough women of variety to make that assessment in life. Now,
Mhm.
if I wanted to take a serious approach, he's probably bitter,
Mhm.
or he's probably in a relationship and just trying to monetize. But in any event, when he's talking about men don't want to get married, it's like, where do you get that information from? Are you in a situation to where you don't want to get married? Because at the end of the day,
'Cause
a
you
man
mad.
that has been through a crazy divorce or crazy relationships more than 2 or 3 times that were serious and got their heart broke, they may want to take their time. They want to self-heal. I always say to people, when your relationship is starting going downhill, it. Start the healing process there. That way, when it's over, you're not healing. You're not trying to heal off of someone else's goodwill. You
Mm.
you heal yourself when your relationship is coming to an end. You start the healing process then. Don't start when it's over, because you're behind. You're behind the healing curve at that point, and
Yeah.
then you have to take longer to get yourself together. You have to be comfortable with who you are from what you've been through. Pack those bags, put them in a trash can on Monday or Thursday, whenever your trash come, and let them take that away.
Yeah.
That way, when you come into contact with another person, you say, I've had these experiences in life. However, I'm going to use those as a benchmark to be better for myself and for that person
That
moving
next
forward.
person.
That
That's
way,
right.
you both come in, and that other person has to do the same thing. That way, you come in on an even plane, and you can say, okay, well, we have this in common. We don't have this in common. Well, we can negotiate here or there, or you know what? This is just not going to work. Take the
Mhm.
bitterness out of the conversation, because if you are one with yourself, you should not really have too many of those problems.
Right. 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 Okay. Okay. Mark, I have to say I'm cracking up over here. I'm trying to keep a straight face. Corey,
What's going on?
you look so uncomfortable.
For me? For
Yeah.
me?
Yes.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm
You
actually
good?
good. Yeah.
I don't see Mike in the backdrop or nothing.
No. I
Hmm.
took that down. I closed everything down back there.
Okay.
I got a lot of
Okay.
stuff running on back there. But go ahead.
Okay. Got you. Got you. What's your thoughts about the brothers? I don't know if you were in or out when that played.
I was probably more out the end, but go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
listening. I'm just listening to y'all. I'm just trying to get caught up. But go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the brother started out with the video that played and he was like, I'm gonna tell you why men 40 and over aren't getting married. And he gave
Oh,
this list of, yeah, we're not bitter, we're not weak, but when the divorce happens, she takes everything pretty much and you left with nothing. So, you know, we
Yeah.
all kind of agreed that he started out bitter, but he wanted to tell us he wasn't bitter.
Hey, but I mean, but we also gotta acknowledge that you know, divorce in a lot of cases, you know, in the end, it is bad for men. It is kind of, you know, lopsided toward the women. Men can lose everything. You know, what I mean, it is factual. There's a lot of facts. Most men lose a lot out after divorce.
Okay.
We gotta acknowledge that.
I can acknowledge that. I can
Right.
acknowledge that. And I would say more than likely because the kids tend to stay with the wife. They stay with the woman. So the responsibilities of all the things that they have to handle now being a single mom, like, bro, you gone. Now I have to deal with all of
Okay.
this.
All right. Absolutely. But again, it's not in favor of the man in most cases of divorce, regardless how we
Okay.
twist it.
Okay. Well, that ain't a twist. That's that
It
we
is.
talking facts, right? We
No.
talking facts.
So
It is facts. It is facts. We understand like it all goes hand in hand. But
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the
yeah.
end, right? But at the end of the day, man, you know, like I say, you know, yeah, you absolutely. If the kids go, but let's just say there is no kids involved. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It is still gonna be swayed more so for women to come out on the better end of it. I'm not knocking it. I'm just making this saying factually that's what happens.
not
So what about the
exactly.
women that make more than their
I don't
husband?
yeah,
Mm-mm.
I'm
with
saying
no
I'm gonna tell
most.
you.
kids involved.
No, it's not most. I'm gonna tell you why. Because men out earn women. So if there are no
Hold
kids
on.
involved and y'all doing all that stuff, then typically
Uh-oh.
it's gonna go with whoever's making the bread. Also, depending on the situation, and in some states, you have to keep the person that makes less in the lifestyle they are
That
accustomed
they're
to.
accustomed
That's
to.
why
Right.
Mary J. Blige had to pay her ex-husband all that
Yep.
money
Right.
Exactly.
because she was making more, but
In
She
she had to
was.
keep him in
most
the lifestyle.
cases, not
Yeah.
This
all,
man.
No,
This
no,
in
no.
man.
most cases,
I'm not
and
saying it's about the
that's all I'm
woman or
saying.
man. I'm saying it's about who makes the money.
I know, but in
Right.
most
And
cases, if you look at those cases, it's more
mhm.
men on that end.
Right, but that's not because
That's
of
all I'm saying.
favor, it's because of the pay.
I understand. Listen, I understand why. My only thing is that this. In
Mhm.
most cases, after divorce, more men lose out more so than women. That's
Yeah,
all.
and we have the reasons. Yeah, we have
Yeah,
the
that's all.
reasons
Whatever the
why.
reasons
Yeah,
are,
that
we
makes
just
sense.
No, I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but you said favor. Favor is
no,
different than fact.
when it comes. Okay, well,
You gotta think
okay,
logically, brother.
okay. Hold on. I am first of all I'm thinking logically because here's the thing. Even in the state of Georgia, when you're talking about how the laws are more so swayed toward when it comes to children, divorces, etc. Even in the state of Georgia, you don't even have to be proven to be someone's son, and you have to pay child support.
Mm.
Stuff like that. That happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's unfair. Some niggas need to be on child support. Like I get it,
Mm-hmm.
right? For anybody start going left. But what I'm saying to you is that you know everybody needs the support. I'm
Yeah.
just saying for the most part, if we really open our eyes around the men, even we know or statistically, most men in a lot of cases, as far as those things are most so swayed toward women in a lot of cases when it comes to laws.
Now with the child support law, I can speak to that one because
Right.
I dealt with the child support
I'm
situation.
dealing with it now.
Okay. So you're dealing with it now. I dealt with it in the past, and it used to be that they took automatically 25%. And I think now it's based on income. So it didn't used to be based on income.
Yeah,
It used
it's
to be an
based.
automatic 25% of whatever your gross pay is. So the laws have changed in the fact that they actually factor in the woman's salary into the process
They
now.
do. They do.
Yeah,
Right.
because they didn't before. I was in a situation, and I was in '93 when I had my daughter. Like it had nothing to do at all with her salary or whatever she made. That was not a part of the situation or concern. And when that law passed, I was applauding that law because my at the time she ended up making more than I was. So you're still taking 25% of mine, but you aren't including the fact that she makes more than me.
Mm.
So the laws changed over time to factor that so that it's on a scale that slides based on the salary of the custodial parent, who is usually the woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Okay.
typically the woman.
So back
Mm.
so back to the bitter brother. So yeah. So the reason and I didn't get offended. I know a lot of women get offended by this video. Some women get offended. I didn't get offended because he wasn't talking about me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He
Right.
wasn't talking about the type of woman that I am or but there
Mhm.
will be people that get offended by it. And when I responded to my brother that sent it to me, he was like, "Oh yeah, I get it. I know what you're saying. I understand." He was like, "I just thought it would be a good addition to what you were saying because y'all, this is real life relationship growth. We want to talk about the real stuff. We not just gonna talk about, oh, how that worked out and oh, how that's good. Let's talk about when it's not. So this isn't a bash on the brother moment, and that video wasn't played to bash on the brother, but I'm swinging it back to the brother. To be honest, Josh made a good point earlier. He talked about vetting, and I think we all can agree that vetting is so important. It's so important. And when you pointing fingers and blaming, I personally take offense to a man who points the finger at everybody for everything that fails for him.
Hmm.
Now, I said a man. Women do it too, y'all. Women do it too. But as a woman, I cannot stand everything that's said is, well, if this didn't happen, if she didn't do that, if they didn't do that, if my boss didn't let me, sir. And that's what he sounded like to me, like he was whining. All I heard was whine, 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 whine. That's really
That's what he sound like, Donna.
That's worse than Keith Sweat.
Right?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And so that video to me, again, it was sent to me. I didn't search it out. I didn't pull it up and say, "Ooh, I want to add this so we can jump on this brother's back." A brother sent it to me. And I honestly, y'all, I don't know what his thought process was. I don't know if he was agreeing with it or not. Because the way I typed back,
I bet he didn't respond after you type.
No, he was like, "Oh no, I think it'd just be a good topic." I said,
Yeah,
I bet.
yeah, because as a woman, and we made this clear, and I'm not the only woman. I get hit on by a lot of guys. There's a lot of men coming from different directions, and I'm kind of like, what you say, Mark?
I ain't saying nothing. I'm just listening. Go ahead.
Again, not only me. Corey said it. Sean said it. It's in the chat. We do, because we know y'all are physical. Y'all like shiny stuff. Y'all like
Yes.
what caught my attention. Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah. We know that.
Amen.
And
Preach.
everybody has
Preach,
different tastes.
We
Everybody
like shiny
has
stuff. Yes, we do. Absolutely. Round in all the right places. We love it. Amen. Hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah.
I know I ain't the only one hearing this.
Look, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't get offended. I don't get offended by a young guy. It is flattering. It is flattering. But I'm like, sir, my son is older than you.
Right.
Could y'all imagine Rajan introducing? Man, please.
Oh, Rajan gonna be ready to fight. What you talking about? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? Like, mama, what's wrong with you? Like, what is going on with you?
Let me tell you, nobody gets a leeway. I don't care how they old with Rajan. Rajan be like, what? Rajan probably like, dude ugly, right?
Oh man.
Oh my.
The brother does not play when it comes to that. But
Right.
so it is flattering. It is flattering. But my question was, y'all, why is it that it's more on the younger and the older than the men right there in my age group.
Because the men in your age group are looking for younger.
Yes.
You're
And
talking
I
about
would
your
say
side.
They're,
Look at their side. The
Some
they're
men,
banal.
always looking for younger. They're
right?
always
They're
looking
looking
for younger.
for
Mark, we can't see your face.
some.
I
Yeah.
don't give a damn. I'm listening. Go
You
They're
ahead.
always looking for younger.
go ahead, Corey.
40-year-old
Yeah.
men are looking for younger.
Yeah. I think they're looking for younger.
Okay. And it's not a point of insult either, y'all. So, ladies, I'm saying this to the ladies. If it doesn't happen, it just was interesting. Y'all know these topics pop in my head.
Mhm.
And a lot of stuff is, like I said at the beginning, based on experiences. And I thought about what other ladies are kind of dealing with this, and what other ladies are questioning either themselves or I was looking at a video earlier before we got started. It's a gentleman that I listened to. I started hearing him on TikTok, and the basis of his whole platform is finding my wife. And what he was talking about earlier was, ladies, how a man sees you is how he's going to treat you.
Mm.
How he sees you is how he's going to treat you. And he said, and sometimes women get into this thought process like, what's wrong with me? Like, this is the man that I want. This is the man that I desire. And he's not returning that. He's not reciprocating that. Like, what's wrong with me? So he was really trying to point out to the ladies, it's not necessarily something that's wrong with you. Just understand every brother is just not every brother that you like don't necessarily like you.
Exactly. Everybody
Right.
ain't for everybody.
Right. So, shoot, find what's in your league or your
But you know that's a hard sell though.
yeah.
Because everybody thinks I'm likable. Why don't you like me?
Uh-huh.
You
Uh-oh.
know?
Ding 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 ding. Y'all know that ding mean counseling, right? When I do that.
Mhm.
Look, King, I still haven't gotten a bell. I'm still saying ding 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 ding.
You ain't got no bell yet. What's going on? What is really
So
going on?
yeah, it's a hard one. So the counseling part, the bell part came in. If you find yourself down in the dumps and asking yourself, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? That's the time to go sit on somebody's couch and figure out what's wrong with you. If you are concerned more about what people on the outside are saying, and I understand, it starts from childhood. You want to be liked. You want to be in a popular group. You want to be, the one that everybody knows and everybody likes. And that's not something that ends in adulthood. We are grown people that are trying to impress other people. But if you're feeling that way and you're questioning yourself, male or female, go sit on somebody's couch and figure out why that may be. Because you got to come whole and not in pieces. Who said it? King said it earlier. Josh said it. You got to come whole and not in pieces, or you're going to bring all that foolishness to somebody else.
Yeah, that was
You're going to
King.
bring it to somebody else.
I said that was King. He said it.
Okay. King, you got your little, he acknowledged.
My man.
Corey,
Hmm.
you got anything else on this, my dear?
No, I just need a moment because you said you need to sit on somebody's couch. The first thing I thought was sit on somebody's lap. But it
Wow.
I'm sure, Corey.
Where is your
I don't know.
mind, young lady?
She said, I am not in my 60s and I don't have a problem.
There you go.
I don't know why that would. I don't know why it came to mind.
Corey said she gonna
We know why.
sit on somebody's lap and talk about the first thing that pop up, huh? Corey? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm back.
You better not be knitting a sweater.
I'm not knitting sweaters. Honestly, I think it was a good topic. I thought we were gonna segue into something else for a second because I think that.
Me too.
Yeah. Oh, y'all thought we was done?
I did. Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah. Because I get in this point when I'm talking a little bit too long, and I don't want to do that. Everybody's on here, so I want to get what y'all thoughts are.
I really think we just got to look at. It's easy to. I get where you're coming from. It's easy to say the younger guys, the older guys, where are mine? Because that's what you want. That's what you want. That's what you're looking for. You got more things in common, the whole nine. But when you look at their end, it's like, okay, it just kind of reminds you, all right, I get it. My guys are kind of looking younger. So, yeah, that's it.
So can I pose a question? Can I pose a question on the floor?
Yeah, most definitely.
I want you to ask this question in your mind. Why are guys your age looking younger? What is it that they're seeking? And a lot of them, in my opinion, because I've been an older guy that's dated younger women, a lot of them get to a point where they're looking for something that lets them know that they still have it. Because they can feel their youth starting to go away, and they want to see if they can still pull something younger. Because again, going back to the trophy piece of having an older woman when you're a younger man, when you're an older man having a younger woman, there's a certain amount of trophy, objectification that goes along with that. She is like a trophy. Like, you was able to pull her. How old are you? How old is she? You pulled her.
Right.
Yeah, man, I was able to pull. I still got it. So there's a lot of that plays into that as well. You 49 years old and you still pulling 25, 26, pulling 25, 26-year-olds. Don't nobody know how you got them, but you still pulling them. You still showing up with them. So that there's a lot of men find, look at me. I'm still able to do this at 50 years old. I know I look older, but I still got it. So I think a lot of that plays into it as well when it comes to our age group and, being able to date somebody that's early 30s, late 20s, maybe even early to mid 30s. So
I'm glad you said that, Josh. Go ahead, Mark.
Glad you cleaned that up. Now, just to mention that age, to clean that up real fast. But you know what? Now, here's the interesting part about the age thing. I mean, let's be honest. One of the things that the age part plays when it comes to relationship as far as women. A lot of women say, well, there's not a lot of as we all age, and when women start to age more as well, they always say there's not a lot of good men out there. Well, let's also factor in that maybe there's not enough because you guys don't go further out in dating. You ever thought about that?
Go further out in dating. What do you mean?
As far as age, you you shorten yourself. You said like Donna said. Okay, so Donna said she wouldn't go to what 60, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's what? How many years is that? 7?
That's 7. That's 7.
Okay,
I said 10 years.
Okay,
10 years.
So you'll go. Okay, so you'll go 60 what? So here's my point. My point is this.
Now remember, they're retiring soon. Don't get mad.
Not enough choices because you guys don't go out further in the age range. You ever thought about that? Because guess what? Hold on. Because guess what? You're young to a 70-year-old as well. Or 65-year-old, you're young for him, right?
Super young.
Right. So why don't y'all get him a shot?
No, but I agree with what Josh said earlier. It depends. It really depends. If I'm at the gym working out, or if I'm somewhere and I see this brother and he cut and he looking good and he about 6, whatever, and he catches my eye,
look at
and we having a conversation.
Y'all hear that list?
Hey, listen.
I said he catches my eye.
Y'all hear that? If you gotta wear brown shoes on Monday,
oh my God.
I didn't say that at all.
No,
I didn't say. Look,
if I'm gonna go outside of my limits, you better be.
There has to be an attraction. Right. Yeah. But if I see that brother and we having a conversation, and in the midst of that conversation, it's like, well, how old are you? Like, because it usually comes first my direction. Well, how old are you? Because and I'm like, I don't have no problem. I'm proud to say I'm 53.
Okay, so Donna, excuse me for a minute. Since you evaded the question I asked you earlier, why y'all don't get married? So I'm gonna bring you back in
Oh,
for a
yeah,
second.
bring me back in.
Okay, bring you
Okay.
back in for a second.
All
Well,
right, all right.
Corey, your age is what? Your age group you stop is what age? You stop with men?
Oh, 7 years older. So
7 years
that's
older. So why not 10?
because I'm 44. They're
That's 54.
54. I don't know.
Okay, so this is two
You see your
examples of
face when you said, don't
right.
know.
So this is the reason why I
Hold
brought
up.
that up is because the 7 to 10 year ain't too much more gap, but you guys have a hard stop, right?
Hard stop.
There's a
Wait,
hard stop
though.
right there. And so hold on, with that hard stop, that limits the pool of men because you guys have that hard stop.
It's not a hard stop. We didn't finish
It's not a hard
we
stop.
didn't finish.
Oh boy, she about to add an amendment to the Constitution.
right.
No, if I'm gonna
No,
go outside
definitely.
of
Wait a
my,
minute, Mark. We got to use your terms. Some but not all, right? Some but not all.
I
Some
said
but
for the
not all.
most part, y'all don't.
For the
Oh, no,
most part. For the
no.
most part. But
Y'all
again,
don't.
I gotta go back. I gotta go back with what Josh said. If this brother, if I'm attracted to him, and then he comes up and tells me how old he is, I'm not gonna be like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
I know
That's
you
not gonna
probably,
happen.
but guess what? I know you probably don't, but most will. Because
Most
we gotta go
will.
back to the most will. Okay.
Got you. Yeah, you're right. I get it. You're right. So that does shorten that pool. So
Right.
that shortens that pool. I got you.
Can I
Go
say
ahead, Corey.
It's just something to think about. And I'm not saying like no one should ever sell themselves short. We're not saying that. But
Mhm.
sometimes, and a lot of us get caught up in, we all have set goals for our lives. And I know some very, very goal-driven women, and as they achieve things from a success standpoint, they try to tie it into a relationship on what they want their man to look like, what they want their age to look like, and all these other things. When sometimes where we have to expand a little bit more to try to get. I'm not saying settle, but sometimes make exceptions to the rule along the way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I agree.
That's
Yep.
all.
Yep. I can agree to that. Okay.
Exceptions, not bullshit.
Jeez. Enough of that.
Right.
It was no. What happened when you make an exception and you still get bullshit?
That's when you get mad at yourself. Like, I knew I shouldn't.
That's when you do those
Hey, you gotta
videos.
go back and wipe your shoes.
That's when you do those videos like
That's
that
all you
brother
gotta
did.
do.
Because
wait, both of y'all were talking. What
Go
you
ahead.
say, Josh?
I said that's when you do those videos because like that brother did because you bitter.
Ooh.
I will never be bitter. I will never be bitter. I'm gonna take my bag and go home.
Right.
Try again tomorrow.
Try again tomorrow. There you go, King.
Yes, Lord.
What you say, Mark?
Oh no, I don't forgot now.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew I should have went to Mark first, but
No, it's all good. I hear y'all. Hey man, it's it's a good conversation. Age sometimes plays at some point. At some point in relationships, it does play a part, especially if there's a gap because you want to go back and quote old movies, right? They look at this shit like,
They favorite picture is in black and white, and I'm like,
you be like this.
New Jack City.
I might have a problem with somebody ain't never seen The Matrix. You know what I'm saying? Talking to me. Think about it. Like a 25-year-old right now may have never seen The Matrix because The Matrix is 26 years old.
Yeah.
So they may not have. There's no way I could date somebody that's never seen The Matrix or never seen Boys in the Hood.
Hold up, I'm talking the Goonies, and you like, hey, you guys,
the Goonies.
Hey, you guys, who?
Hey, y'all, check this out, y'all. Check this out. Let me tell you what I've done. This probably happened within the last few years. So let me tell you what happens when I ran across women that probably they feel that I'm older, right? Which they know, but they may not know how old. So if I ran into someone who was in their mid-20s, maybe a few years ago, I would call my son and put my son on the phone.
Oh wow.
I would FaceTime my son. My son, listen, my son. I would FaceTime my son. I tell the girl, hold on, man, I can't nothing I can do with you. Hold on for 1 second. Let me get my
Oh
son on the phone.
wow.
Right? And I literally FaceTime them and let them talk and move out the way and let them whatever happens. You know what I mean?
Now,
I've done that before.
now, has there ever been a match like that? Has he ever connected?
Man, I don't know, man. My son is something else. I'll say that.
Oh, he's daddy child.
I didn't even say that.
Right, you real daddy's child.
Oh my goodness.
Hey man, hey.
That is funny.
I'm just a dog barking at the moon now. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Sitting on the porch barking at the moon.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. So yo, let's do that real quick. The age thing. Man. Yeah, reality is we mention in movies that they don't get, or and it can trickle, it can go the same way. Cause Fred can be talking about the Charleston or something, and I'm like, what is that?
I don't even know the Charleston. Hold on.
I tried to think of something.
Wait a minute.
Right. But when you mention something, they're like, oh yeah, my grandma used to talk
listen to
about.
swing music, Donna? You listen to swing music? The Charleston.
Talking about the mashed potato.
I had to, right there. You go. I had to think of something I knew that was old, y'all. I had to think
Oh
of
my
something.
goodness.
But you know what though? I'm gonna tell you another downside to it too. Since we all talking about it, it's one of them can be like when you'll say something and then you'll be like, you know what? Never mind.
You know, I ain't gonna get it. That's before your time.
You just start to explain, you're like, that's okay, shit. Fuck it.
Oh man. That's it.
Yeah. Reality is there are things that a younger person jeez. A younger person.
I can't tell you something been on the other side of that. I will say, well, first of all, I'm not a person that like manipulate anybody, woman, man, no one. So manipulation is not my cup of tea. But I can definitely tell you though, one of the things I've noticed. Okay, I'm gonna give you both sides. One of the things I've noticed with younger women dating them, they're like clean. The ones that I came across, they're like clean slates. They like want information. Like they typically, it even is on a level of just going out and just talking and just talking to different people. They ask questions. They want to know. They're attentive. It ain't a whole lot of pushback, right? Because they're soaking information. Now that's just what I've experienced. Now on the other side, I've experienced, as far as older, if I've ever went older or around my age, I would probably say it's more supportive. You may have a little bit of,
keep it real. Keep it real.
No, a little bit, not a whole lot, because I don't think that all older women have baggage. I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
But I do feel like sometimes, again, the carryover does affect, but not. You know how to get away from them type of people, right? But the ones who've experienced things, I like the fact that they know how to nourish you. Because they have that skill set more so than the young. They know exactly how to nourish you.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah. Because most of the time you'll see an older man with a younger girl, and it'll be like, oh, he just taking advantage of her. He just, he got her because she easy. He don't want to deal with a real woman. You hear things like that.
yeah.
You hear things like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this too, especially a lot of women around my age. Look, it's a lot of one good thing about it. A lot of women, especially around our age, including yourself, Donna, are in good shape, right? And that's fine, and be confident in yourself. But I do feel a certain kind of way about the older women with bikinis and stuff like that. Like, leave that for them, right? Leave that for the younger. It's okay to be confident, but let's not try to compete with that. Be you. Believe me, if you are a woman of how can I say, of great knowledge and all the essence of what Black women are, especially when you get older, just remain in that, and that is more graceful than trying to compete with someone that's younger. Because there's a lot of that going on.
So okay. So why do you think is in some? Yes, probably. I get it.
Yeah, social media.
But
Go
but
ahead and do this right here. You'll
yeah.
see it. You'll see
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah,
You'll
I
see
get
it.
it. But some just look that good, and
Right.
they don't feel the there is no competition.
I know.
Yeah.
And I've addressed them by saying yes, but we also know that there are some that act. I'm only addressing the ones
Gotcha.
that
Yeah.
that try to be.
Yeah.
You know
That
what I
are, that
mean?
are trying to compete, right?
They're
You're
trying
talking
to
about,
compete. Yeah,
yeah,
there's a lot of
yeah,
that going on. That's all
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what you're saying, Donna. Like a lot of women are examining what you're examining, and they're saying, you know, well, these women are still the men that I should be dating. So I got to do something to
I
make
got to do
myself
something
competitive.
right.
So you know,
Mm-hmm.
they are trying to look like those women. So it's like, hey, I look just like her. What's the
What's the
difference?
problem?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what's the problem? So you know,
Yeah.
I got the flat stomach, I got the the BBL on fleek, and I'm doing all the same stuff that she's doing. So why pick me? And
Mm-hmm.
and that's he's saying that ain't it, and I
That
get
ain't
that
it.
that it is not it. But there are some women that are just trying to keep themselves in shape and
Right.
like wearing bikinis because they know they're in shape and they can wear them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so I don't have a problem with them, but the ones that are out here trying to compete with young women,
Compete.
I see his
Yeah.
point. I see his
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
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 Because
And that's
they are.
yeah.
There are a lot of them out here in their 40s and they're
Mhm.
doing stuff, and you're like, you're
That
making
ain't
a
it.
spectacle of yourself in the wrong
Sit
way.
down.
And
You
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
you already won because you made it to where they ain't even got to.
right.
You done
And they still
already won.
got 20 years to get to where you are. And if
You
you don't
won.
touch another thing on your body, you're still looking great for your age. And there's a lot of women that just look really well in their 40s. Black don't crack. You know what I'm saying? If you just keep it in shape, it's gonna be in shape.
And here we go with the need to deal with your self-esteem.
Absolutely.
Right.
Here we
Absolutely.
go with the need to deal with why you feel like you want to compete with a 25-year-old. Yeah, the
Yeah.
counseling is necessary. It's this everybody doesn't believe in it. If you don't want to call it counseling, go talking to a trusted girlfriend or
Something.
somebody.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Everybody don't have a circle of
Go
friends
read
that
Dr.
says,
Seuss or
girl,
something.
hi.
I said go read Dr. Seuss or something. Cat in the Hat. Do something.
You gotta do
Yeah.
it before they get banned.
Right. But yeah, do that because all of this stuff applies. There's reasons behind everything.
Right.
There's reasons behind everything. So when you see that sister or even that brother that's trying to compete and do this and that, we got to realize there's something more going on. There's
Yeah.
something more going on.
Absolutely.
I bet I
Mhm.
see another video in some slim cut skinny jeans. Like,
Hey, and that's a good point because I mean, you see them old dudes. They always talk about the old dude in the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And he's trying to, he got on the back in the day when it was white tees. He got on the big white tee. He's
Right.
50 years old,
4X.
sagging down to the middle of it. Come on, bro. You 50
Yeah.
years old. You sagging to the middle of your thighs with
Yeah.
a big white tee
Stop it.
on in the club, and you 50
Yeah.
with
Tell
your
us something.
your
Tell us
white
something.
hat, trying to. I was like, what are we doing here, people? Like,
Yeah.
we old. Like, you don't need to lean with it, rock with it. We don't need to do that. So, like we ain't gotta do that.
Yeah.
Walking like a cowboy.
There's
Right.
something missing there.
60 years
Yeah,
old.
that's an issue
Yeah.
that you need to
And that is an
therapy for.
issue of learning where you are in your life and how you should age. I think a lot of us need to figure out, just because I'm getting older, that doesn't mean I have to operate in the old space, but I do need to
Yeah.
mature, right? I do need
Right.
to mature.
That's
And we
right.
need to understand what maturity looks like for us,
Mhm.
for yourself, and become secure in where I am in my aging process.
Mhm.
I don't need to be trying to run 100 meters with the 20-year-olds. I don't need to do that because that's going to put me in the bed for like 3 days. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? 'Cause,
Yeah.
I don't need to go outside and play a pickup game of football because I'm 50 years old and I'm gonna
Yeah.
need some being gay after that. You know,
Yeah.
that's just a
As
it's a
as
fact
good
of the
shape
matter.
as regardless
But
of
you know, I do
how
need to
good.
still lift. I do need to still be active. I do
Yeah.
maybe need to still, you know, run some pickup games of basketball here and there because that keeps me active. But I don't need to be that guy. I'm Unc now. You know what I'm saying? I have moved into the Unc phase.
Yeah.
So I need to
No,
accept
I hear
that
brother.
I'm
Yeah.
Unc.
I
And
hear
I'm
brothers
cool
that
with
get
being Unc.
offended by calling
Because they're
getting
not
called
ready for
Unc.
that yet. I get
Right.
it.
And they don't want to be called Unc, but I'm like,
Yeah.
man, if
Hey,
you
but I'm gonna
50,
tell you something.
you Unc. Like
I'm gonna
you
I'm gonna tell y'all something personal. So I say this. One of the things that helped me not be that guy that that not want to try to like hold on to the past, you know. And I'm not definitely not speaking ill will of him. He's passed. My grandfather, right? My grandfather always to the time that he was he passed, like he always moved around. Like there's a lot of similarities between him and I, from what I was told. But one of the biggest things I learned, I saw that he could never do, you know, ball player, you know, football player and all those things, you know, the guy around town, nice looking guy or whatnot. But he could never let that go all the way up to the time that he passed. And it was
Mm-hmm.
sad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when I saw that and he ended up with nothing, that was my lesson. That was for me to be like, I can't be like that.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that started early when I saw him, you know, move around. Like I said, he was stuck in his 70s, and it was what 95.
Mm-hmm. My
You know,
biological father was like that. That
yeah.
man literally said he would never date anyone over 35. Never. He passed away 2 years ago. And daddy looked good. He was a semi-pro tennis player, whatever can call that. And Caribbean man and the pom-pom shorts and
They got a
he
bag
was
of chips after they got a bag of chips after the game.
yeah.
Semi-pro. He went to go
Right. Yo, he good diet. He ate well. He always bragged about his flat stomach. And but women, I'm not over 35. I mean, really, he was like 30 if possible. And truth be told, brother was pulling them. And I'm like, your daughters are older than him. Stop it. Like,
Right. And I'm telling you, that was a bragging point for him. Like,
yeah.
I can still pull. Like,
Yeah, it was embarrassing to us.
Now I do take, my son being 26, I do take, I don't take, but I do kind of connect with him on the levels so I can have some type of relevancy.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So and then my youngest is 12. Like, so that's another young man that I can also keep abreast of what's going on, because I sure don't want to be not just an old nigga in the club, but also nigga just fit jittery around technology. You gotta get somebody to
Yeah.
program your phone. I ain't trying to be all like that. You know
How
what
you
I'm
do
saying?
this?
Right. So I do so I do attach or pull something from that, but it don't go no further than that. You know what I mean? For
Yeah.
me,
Yeah, we have
you know,
to. We
got to,
have to. Yeah, Charisma, my daughter just turned 28 and she be like inviting me, "Mom, come on." I'm like, "Girl." Like, we did a whole weekend for her birthday and her friends went to the Caribbean Fest. And I originally was supposed to go. We went to brunch and got to her place and all these little young heifers started coming in. I was like, "Oh, hell no. I'm going home." I'm going home, but she don't even know. I'm thinking to myself, they was doing shots before they went. Like, let's drink in the house before we go out. So and so we won't have to pay for drinks. And I'm like, oh, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. But yeah, we got to keep on some stuff. Keep up on some stuff. But
Yeah, you got to.
I'm not gonna be the parent hanging out, drinking, smoking, doing whatever with my children. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
It's all good.
Miss Corey, you got something? You look like you kind of.
So everybody here is dead older when they were younger, right? How
Yes,
old were you and how old was that person?
I was
The
26.
oldest.
She was 37.
Oh,
That
damn.
was large. Okay.
Yeah, I dated a woman that was 11 years older than me.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man,
I wouldn't call it dating.
I
I
was
did some
like-
things with the woman that was and we went out a few times.
Okay, so look, let me
So-
ask you something. Are you saying dating or just fooling around with? Which
You
one?
said what? I hear you.
Dating, seeing.
Okay, so the oldest I was 27, she was 50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And-
Marcus, darling.
Hey, let me tell you, let me explain something. Let me explain something
Marcus, I
to
don't
you.
have any.
Right. Right. But guess what? But I was leaving the light on. I was leaving the light on. I ain't turned the light on. I turned the light on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
You know, but
Oh my word.
But here's the funny thing about it. When I thought, it's funny because I thought about it before, and I was just thinking, I was just like, man, she about 75 now.
You thought about it now? You thought about it
Yeah,
now?
I'm thinking about
I
it.
did too. I was
like,
now,
oh
and
no.
she's 61, about to be 62. So I'm like, golly.
Right.
And that is what keeps me from dating.
Wait a minute. Hold
Oh.
on. I need King's answer.
Oh, go ahead.
Wow. So the first time I dated an older woman was back in '92.
He said the first time.
I didn't know how old she was at the time. I was fresh on active duty for her Texas, and met the woman at NCO club. She took me home, knocked me off, and then dropped me off the next day. And I was like, oh. But I guess the first time I dated older with conscience was probably 13 years ago. And it was like, the first one was like maybe 5-6 years older than me. But after that, 10 years was the oldest I went.
Yeah, man, I don't know. It's man, yeah, I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, geez. I'm sorry, I was having a moment, y'all, for a minute.
I've always.
Sometimes I'm thinking back, I used to be like, damn, was I being like I was like, damn, was I being used? Like
Used for your youth.
I know I was.
Yes. Yes. And let me say this to Josh as well. Yes, Josh. Yes, y'all were being used. Go ahead.
I know.
I ran into one.
He was loving it too.
Yeah. You right, I did. But one thing about it is, but let me tell you how they get you though. Let me tell you, I'm gonna let y'all in the secret, ladies, and check this out. So this is how they get you. It starts off, especially back in the day, right? Get you. What was it? Would you go get the videos? You get the DVDs and shit back in the day. And you
go to Blockbuster.
Yeah, go to Blockbuster.
Right.
What happened?
He's giving a depiction of what he.
Hey, that light don't look on.
Right? Look.
Damn, it went out.
Oh, it went out.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
Shit.
Donna, how old was the oldest person you dated?
Yeah, you're old.
And how old were you and how old was he?
None of your business.
Come on now.
Wow, don't be doing that. Don't
No.
do that.
It wasn't.
Put up there. We listen, but
I've always dated guys older than me.
Okay.
I've always, for the exception of one time, and that was. I've always dated guys older than me. I've always, I was thinking there was there was one. There was one, and it was like, no, sir. The reality of the age difference and the experience, and like this guy had never been married, didn't have any children, but he swore up and down, I got it, I can handle it. But I think when I was 17, he was 25. I think that's the the span of in that age range. But
he didn't get beat up.
Did he get beat up? Did you say did he get beat up? When they found out.
Take it back to Manhunt.
They had to find out first.
No, this was before Manhunt.
Oh, okay.
This was right before Manhunt.
Man.
I was in Jersey, Fort Dix.
Oh, wow.
Fort Dix. Yeah. Yeah, so when it was found out, they was like, "What? Huh?" But yeah. So I think that was about probably the age gap, Corey. But I've always talked to men older than me.
Yeah, I've only dated one woman that was significantly. I've dated women that were right around 5 years older than me. Like that's happened multiple times in my life, but like the significantly older, 11 years older, that happened at one time, and I knew she was in her sexual peak. I knew she was like 36. You could, I knew that she was.
You can smell it.
It was in the air. It was in the air. It was a part of the pheromones were high.
Yes.
Okay.
At that time.
Okay.
My range, it was like 18 years. So I was 24 and he was 42. And my father introduced us.
Wait a minute. Wow. That's a story.
Man.
I know it is. I used to be like kind of a biker in like a biker world. My father's like a biker.
Okay.
And we were at an event in Baltimore, one of his chapters.
Okay.
And we went, and there was this man that looked at me. But the way he looked at me, I said, "Oh, man." Okay. But it's dark. I couldn't see that much. He was bright, but I couldn't see.
Wait, how old were you? I'm sorry.
24.
Okay. You was grown. Okay, go ahead.
And so I went inside. I came out talking to my father, and he noticed the man looking at me too. And he said, "Hey, let me introduce you to somebody." I'm like, "Okay." He's always introducing me to people, to be looked out for. And so he introduced me to this guy. And I was like, "Oh." And as we talked, I said, "So how long have you known my father?" He said, "I don't know him. I just met him this evening." And I was like, "Oh, okay." We had conversation, ended up talking. He was a truck driver, a local person.
Okay.
And he was 42.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why you had to sip? Why you had to
sit
sip
right? You see, she taking a sip after that.
Did you travel?
It's almost gone. I gotta drink it up.
Cool off a little bit. You need to cool off.
Hey, so look, check this out. If I got cut off, Charlotte must have heard about me and pulled the plug. So I'm gonna tell you. This how they get you. This how you get your hook, line, and
Oh,
sinker,
that's right. Okay.
So what happened is it starts off by you get your videos. Yeah, come on, let's watch videos Friday night. Boom, okay. You know you're gonna fall asleep, right? So you wake up Saturday morning, she be like, "I'm finna go to the store and fix breakfast." So then you like, "Well, shit, I might as well go ahead and chill, right?" So by the time she come back, she eat. Then you already know you was up late last night. You gonna do what? Take a nap, right? And then you know you look up. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. And by this time, she like, well, she want to go out and have drinks. And you back. Next thing you know, you look up. You're leaving Monday.
You done got locked in for the weekend.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Well, that means you didn't have nothing going on that weekend anyway.
No, I didn't.
And if he did, he canceled his plans.
Exactly.
He canceled his
All that I had
plans.
going on that day was waiting on them pancakes with the crusted edges come out.
That means you stayed for lunch too. He ain't go home till dinner time.
Right.
Extra crust on them things too, baby.
Right. It's Monday. I gotta go to work.
Oh, right.
Man.
Like that dude from
that's
Harlem
hilarious.
Nights.
Wow.
Put your mama on the phone. I ain't coming home.
I ain't never coming back.
Right. Throw it in the attic. Make sunshine.
The next person you date might be like, "Brooklyn Nights, I gotta watch that movie." No, man.
Right.
Too young.
Yes, Harlem Nights. They will be like, "What's a Harlem Night?" And you'll be like,
right.
It's
Harlem
time
Night.
to go.
We don't need that.
Is that somebody walking around that night in Harlem?
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
I love this, y'all. This was a really good.
Yeah,
really
I
good
enjoyed
discussion.
myself, guys.
Yeah, really good discussion. I really appreciate you guys, especially the brothers, y'all input on this one, because it was a question to ask of you all. Yeah, we're gonna say a little prayer for Chan. She texted me her uncle is in the hospital, so let's say a little prayer Yeah, she's had to get off because her brother called and they
Yeah.
kind of dealing with a family emergency. So we want to
Sorry.
say a prayer for her family. But yeah, this was great. This was great. Brother King,
Yes.
I
It's-
appreciate you. I love
It's
you.
been, it's been a while. It's been a while. I love you too, sis.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a while. It's been a while. You know, anytime.
Yeah. You just throw
Mhm.
out the bat signal and I'm there.
Yep.
Oh,
Exactly.
that's awesome.
Exactly. Mr. Presley,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
are going to we're gonna prepare. We're gonna get ready for that topic. We're gonna
We
get ready.
are.
Josh and I got one that's woo.
That's the one we were discussing backstage.
No,
That's a different one.
No.
Yeah.
That was a different one.
it's
Yeah.
a different one. It's a different one. He sent to me some weeks ago. It's been a minute, and I've been trying
Yeah.
to get it in rotation, but we're gonna get on that one. We're gonna get on
Yeah.
that one. And Corey B, as always, sister girl, we didn't do our thing when we got on, but I felt
No.
like we just kind of needed to.
It was Mark's fault. He did that.
It was.
I know
It
that.
was. It's always Mark's
Hey
fault.
man, I've been blamed for shit all my life. I don't even care.
Don't stop now.
Right. Why stop now? Why stop
Mhm.
now? All right, y'all. You all in YouTube land. I so appreciate you guys hanging in with us tonight. We started out. I saw the number go up. We lost about 3 or 4, but that's cool. That's cool. Everybody was like, it's almost 10 o'clock. They crazy.
Right. Yeah, they in the bed, man. They like, y'all in here long-winded tonight. What's going on?
The young girls at the club and the old ones in the bed.
In the bed.
Correct. In the bed looking at their phone right now.
Right.
All right, y'all. Stay tuned for that series. Stay tuned for that series that I have coming up. If y'all know any counselors, therapists, anything that y'all can send my way for this topic, because I want us to every night of the 6 weeks that we do this to have some good information for people. So remember, it's generational curses closing the gap. So if y'all know somebody, send them my way. Send them my way. I greatly appreciate it. All right, y'all. We all signing off at the same time. There is no backstage nothing tonight. Love y'all.
All right. Shit.
What? Mark. Bye.
I know
Love y'all.